Okay, I'm gonna make this quick video because I have a student that has asked for a binding spell, and for whatever reason there is nothing available on YouTube that I can tell. There's some videos for love bindings, but nothing for a baneful binding. So I'm going to show you probably two of the easiest ways to do this. One, you can use a potato. The other one, you can use a lemon. There's many other ways to do this. You can use voodoo dolls, you can use wax images, you can use onion. Anything that you can associate a person to in some way, like as far as lemons souring someone's life, or onions making someone cry, or just something that will rot their life. If that's kind of the direction that you're going in, then if it makes sense to you, use it, okay? But these are probably some of the most basic ways, especially in hoodoo. We use a lot of fruits and vegetables. So we're going to begin, so take notes. You're going to need some black push pins. You're going to need some black thread. You can use twine, but if you're going to use a colored thread, make sure that it's black for this work anyway. You're gonna need a knife. If you prefer, you can wear gloves. You are going to need Florida water. This is the way I like to do it, is holy water. You're going to need you're going to need control oil. You can also use things like banishing oil, war water. So war water is to get rid of someone, to make them go away from you. You can also use hot foot powder. You can, depending on how baneful you want to go, you can use destruction oils and things like that. So first thing you're going to want to do, and make sure that these are not fresh and nice. So like if they're starting to turn a little bit, that's also going to help your magic. So you want them to be kind of on the verge of fermenting or rotting. So first thing you're going to do, take your Florida water and cleanse and purify your object. Cleanse and purify this object. I will put gloves on because I like to use oils and they're messy. And especially if you get into using war water can get really stagnant and really disgusting. And between that and my doom oil, I really hate working with those two things. So you can also use cemetery water. So this is not going to be very extravagant. It is just going to be the basics, okay? So you can do this. You don't have to do this, because you're also going to want to put, either write the target's names on the object or a name paper and put it into the object. I do it this way. You don't have to do it this way. So I will bless and baptize this as the mind, body, spirit, and soul of Jane Doe. I bless and baptize this as the mind, body, spirit, and soul of John Doe. And you're going to do that 3 times on each. This is just an example. And then what you can do is, of course, I do not promote the use of tobacco use, especially for people under 18 years old. But you can take this. I'm not a smoker myself. You don't have to inhale. You can light it. And then you blow the smoke into the object 3 times and speak, I blow life into you. And then blow the smoke in Or you can just use your breath like this and say, I blow life into you. 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 But again, you can also do that with the tobacco. Tobacco has a lot of old occult practice behind it, so it is a little more powerful than your own breath. But either way, they both work absolutely 100%. Another thing you can do if you like to work with the elements is you can bless and baptize your object in the elements. You can use fire, water, earth, and air. It's also good to have those things on your altar when you're doing any kind of work. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these in half. Okay. And in Hoodoo, we use brown paper. We don't use white paper for anything that is even slightly baneful. You will use brown paper. You will not use brown paper if you're doing anything positive. If you're doing love work, money, protection, that will be white paper. But in this case, we're using brown paper. This can be paper bags, packaging paper, whatever you want to use. It just needs to be brown. Now what you're going to do is you're going to write your target's name on the paper 4 times. So we have Jane Doe, born, we'll say 1100. So do that 4 times. Jane Doe, 1100. Jane Doe, 1100. Jane Doe, 1100. So there's one. We've got to do the other one. Now this is John Doe, and he was born 2202. John Doe, 2202. John Doe, born 2202. When you're doing this though, don't go as fast as I'm going. I'm just giving you an example, but you need to take your time and write their full name and their date of birth. And as you're writing it, you're gonna say, John so-and-so Doe, born February 2nd of 2002, and then what your intention is. You don't have to write that, but you can say, I am baptizing this paper as the mind, body, spirit, and soul of John Doe, born February 2nd, 2002. Okay, and then once you are done with this paper, you're gonna fold it up, put it inside, and then we're gonna do the rest of it here. So let me go. John Doe, February 2nd of 2002. Now, when you do any kind of baneful petitions, do not fold these towards you. You want to fold them away from you, okay? If it's love or protection or prosperity, then you will fold those to you. These are to be folded away from you. So, and you can speak your intention as you're folding. Like I like to say, I fold you into this binding. This is where you will stay. No protection, no powers, no prayers, no castbacks, no nothing will affect this work that is being done here. And if you have to turn your paper at this point, you go counterclockwise, and again, fold away. Counterclockwise, fold away. And then you're going to put that into your potato. And if you want it to fit in there better, you can carve a hole. So it's gonna be like this, but I secure them with pins anyway, and then plus you're still gonna bind them. But if that bothers you that it's sitting up a little, then you can go ahead and cut a hole in here. Okay. And then you could stick it in there like that. And it does make a nice little pouch. And you can even fill this with some of your stuff. So that's also optional. Okay, but at this point, I like to just close it up. Take your pins. Now with these pins, you can speak something because you don't want to just put them in there. You want to be stating what your intention is through this whole ritual. So I close you in to this spell where you are now bound away from me and out of my life forever. I close you into this spell. I bind you to this spell away from me from now until forever. I bind you away. You will never bother me again. You will never think of me again. You will never talk to me again. You will never contact me. If you do, curses will follow. I mean, these are just ideas, guys, so like whatever you think, okay? So at the end you can say something like, and so be it. And you're going to do the same with this one, folding away from you. I fold you into the spell work. No healing, protections, blessings, or reversals can be cast to stop what is coming to you. I fold you into this binding. You will never return into my life again. You will never bother me again. If you do, curses will follow. So you put that guy in there like that, and you can say something like, and now your life will be soured. And again, with the pins, speak your intention. You will never bother me again. You are bound. You will never think of me again. I bind you and sour your life. If you so much as even think of me again, curses will follow you. My spirits will alert me to it, and you will be dealt with. You will not be able to do anything normal in your life again if you so much as even think about me. You will be haunted and tormented by my spirits forever and always. I curse you to sour your life and bind you away from me in solitude and misery. So be it. Okay. Now, the next part is you're going to need your thread. So you can write things on here too. If you dry them off, you can write your intention on here, or you can write the target's name on here. Same thing with your potato. You can also give these things timelines. Just get creative. Whatever makes sense to you, whatever you feel like needs to be covered, put it into the spell. So I apologize that this is going to take forever because this thread likes to tangle and it drives me crazy. Okay. Now, this is the important part. So figure out what you want to say, speak it clearly and positively. You can kind of secure one end on one of your needles here if you want to. You can just wrap it around there and stick it back down. But again, this does not come towards you. This comes away from you. So I bind you away from me, out of my life forever and always. And then turn it. I bind you away from me, out of my life forever. You will never bother me anymore. You will never think about me. You will never talk to me. You will never speak about me to anyone else. You will fuck off. I bind you. Again, you can tie it off through one of these needles here. Do the same thing with your potato. That didn't work very well. Alright, so secure your string. I bind your mind, body, spirit, and soul. I bind you from thinking about me, from dreaming about me, from talking to others about me, from contacting me, from seeing me ever again. If you do, curses will follow, and I bind you into this as not only a binding away from me, but as a curse as well. So you will never bother me again. Okay, so that's how you do that part. Now, another thing you can do if you want to make this more complete as far as like a whole spell, you can add things to your tray, so corresponding herbs. That means herbs that would drive someone away or cause them pain or problems. So a lot of times we use chilies. Patchouli is one for cursing. Patchouli can also be used for positive things, but it can be used for this. So now, this is where I like to get my oils. In this case, we're going to use control oil. And we're going to drop some into our hand. This is what the gloves are good for. And counterclockwise, you're going to empower this oil. You're going to rub your energy into this oil and speak your intent. In this case, I bless and baptize this control oil. And as I rub this over you, I control your life, your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. You will never bother me again from this day forth. I control your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. And you will never bother me again from this day forth. Okay? Now, as I was saying earlier, war water becomes stagnant and disgusting, so I won't even put it on gloved hands. I will just use a pipette for this. These can really come in handy when you don't want to touch certain things, but this shit stinks, so keep that in mind. I banish you away from me, out of my life. Mind, body, spirit, and soul, I banish you with this war water. Ugh. I banish you out of my life, mind, body, spirit, and soul. I cast you out. Leave me. Never return and never bother me again. Again, going clockwise or counterclockwise, so away from you. And then I'm going to banish them further with hot foot powder. You will leave me alone. You will never bother me again. Banish you, cast you out, bind you. You will leave me alone. Never bother me again. You will never think of me again. You have no ability to even come near me whatsoever in the name of Lucifer. So you can use a deity to empower it with their name. So at this point, now, if you want to, there's a lot of different options you have. You can, as I said, add more stuff to this, burn candles around it, burn incense around it. You can add stones, you can add tarot cards, and focus your intent on it. You can burn candles on top of it. You can take it out to the woods and tack it to a tree so that it dries up and withers up there. It really just depends on how you want to do it, but there's so many different things you can do. And then after, it's always good to burn a candle over the top of it by carving your intent here as well. Like, I banish you, I cast you, I bind you out of my life. Whatever you decide to write on these candles, it should be either the name of the spirit that you're working with or the command, the intention, and then you burn it on top. And as it's melted down, that is when you're going to take it and finish the spell by burying it where it needs to go. So some people like taking them to cemeteries. Some people just taking them into the woods. Some people just throw them in the trash. Okay? So, and it's nice to have a good torch lighter because sometimes these things really do not want to stick. Especially to fruit. Okay? So you can speak more intention over this. You should also not walk away from it. You should meditate on it. Keep speaking your intent to it. Speak to your spirits about what you are doing here. Thanking your spirits. Telling the target exactly what's going to happen. And do not leave this spell unattended. Stay with it until it's all the way burnt down, and then dispose of it properly. Okay? And don't forget, you can do this with pretty much any object that you have, as long as you bless and baptize it as the person that you are actually doing the spell on. So I hope this helps. You can kind of take each little bit of information that I give you and put it together, especially with the rites we're doing, and get a good idea of how these things work.